So today's my topic is based on the airport planning and designing. So from this airport planning and designing, so I'm going to explain the part of what are the things are necessity for the consideration of planning and the designing. So first we have to move on this topic by knowing that what are the things that have been considered for the laying of runway. So in engineering and in airport engineering aspects, we need to design and plan a terminal runway and navigational aids. So it means that providing the proper facility to the passenger. So first thing is terminal building, then runway, then navigational aids, so and freight services. So airport engineering design and construct the airports, they must account for the impact and demand for aircraft in the design of airport facilities. So next, the engineers must analyze the predominant wind direction. So wind direction is nothing but we have to find out the prevailing of wind, in which direction is the most prevailing of wind. By adapting this situation only, we can go for the design procedure of a runway. So runway is nothing but the flight can take off or a landing zone is called runway. So this is mainly based on this wind direction and also the wind factor. Next one is determine the size of the runway border and safety areas and different wing tip to tip of the aircraft clearance for all the gates and must designate the clear zone in the airport in the entire airport. So the history of airport is being in a considerable one. Mr. Roger Bacon studied the flight of boats and he predicted in the year of 1252. So that from he get the motivated for power for the required of flying of craft must require some fire. So fire combustion is the most eligible for flying of the aircraft. So he identified that on later in 1505, Mr. Leonardo da Vinci wrote a book on mechanical properties of wing movement of boats. So he studied the motion of air resistance to the body in air and airflow. So and also by concludes that how the minimum pressure and maximum pressure, minimum velocity, maximum velocity. By the applicable of Bernoulli's equation in the is applicable for the aircraft flying. On December 17, 1903, a bicycle repair man by the name of Orville Wright proposed himself through the air for a distance of 30 kilometers in the first powered flight in heavier than the aircraft known to the man. So during the World War 1914 to 1918, Ziplon airplanes were freely used by the German for the passenger transport. The first international air service was started in the year of 1918 between 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 Toulouse and Barcelona in France. Air transportation in India. The first flight recorded in India was performed by the Frenchman Henri Piquet when he carried out the make from the Allhabad to Naini in the year of 1911. The same year, Sir George Lloyd undertook the organization of air flying between Bombay to Karachi. So after that, the civil aviation has been formed for the flying of flights. So it ensured that the safety of the passenger and also the flight. So by the year of 1927, civil aviation, the department was established, and this organization is used for constructing few aerodromes and forming the flying clubs. On December 29, 1930, the regular air service between Karachi and Delhi was operated under the airlines of Imperial Airways Services. So ICU is the most important for the flying, is most important for the aircraft. So under this act only, each and every aircraft was ensure the safety of the passenger. So ICAO was established to serve the medium through which the necessary international understanding and agreement between the nation in all technical terms, economical and legal field for safety and smooth operation of aircraft. So it was formed in the year of April 4, 1947, with headquarters as Montreal in Canada. So what are its characteristics of airport means? It should be rapidity, then continuity, then accessibility. So these are all the hallmarks of the airport. It is the fastest mode of transportation while compared with the all other the mode of transportation. Its velocity is faster than that of sound. So the capable of navigation continuously over the mountains and oceans without any break in journey. The capable of accessing remote locations such as forest, highland, and snowed mountains. So air transport has become one of the most important mode of transport nowadays. So the growth of civil aviation should be properly planned, monitored, and coordinated to ensure that it covers all the aspects of civil aviation. So the advantages and disadvantages has been mainly take part in the airport. So the advantages already we lost in the significance factor also we discussed that there are the few advantages has been discussed. So same thing has been given in the advantages also. So it is a rapidity. Okay, so it's one of the fast moving transport mode of transport while compared with the other three mode of transports. So except the weather condition, it's having mainly behind the weather condition. So the being the reason of weather condition, the aircraft only take off or landing based on this weather condition only. So continuous journey, that is there is no lagging in journey. Journey will be continuous. Then easy accessibility on aerial photography. These are the features are mainly covered in the advantage of air transport. Then disadvantages of airport means the expenses is too high. So this is the one of the major disadvantages in the air transportation. Then capacity also few, maybe the capacity may be around 100, 160, 150 likewise. So only the economy richer people can utilize the air transport. All other can. It's only dream for the all other groups. Okay. So weather condition is most important. By knowing the weather condition only, the flight can take off or landing off. Then there must be some flight rules. While comparing with the other mode of transportation, the flight will be the more. It's not. It is having the some specifications and rules and regulations that are framed by ICO has been given that rules and regulation. So it should be followed in the international airport. So that's why it have the strict in the flight rules. Then there is a difference between the airfield and aerodrome. So airfield, it means that where aircraft may be taken off and taken landing off, especially in the landing field of an airport, usually military field. So this is the aerodrome is nothing but it's a departure of passenger, especially from the airport. That is called aerodrome. So this is called airfield, and this is aerodrome. We seen the difference between this because runway, how the runway is possible in airfield. So this is the runway possibility in the airfield, and this is the how the runway is different from the airfield to aerodrome. So aircraft. So this is the basic definitions of aircraft. So already it has been discussed in the previous slides. So the characteristics of aircraft, there are a piston engine, turbojet engine, then turbofan. So these are the engines, these are the propulsions nowadays we are using in the aircraft system. So next characteristics, types of propulsion, size of an aircraft, minimum turning radius, then minimum circling radius. These are the characteristics of the aircraft. Okay, thank you for the wonderful session.